You already know what it is. Legendary Thursday. You're now tuned into the E.Jones show featuring Sharonda, Cody, plus Talise, DJ Mark with the lunchtime mix. You already know it's about to be bananas. Real talk. It's about to be bananas. Today's special guest is my mans in them, Big Gipp from the legendary group Goody Mob will be joining us on the interview. So we're going to be chopping it up with him. Plus, we're going to have the topic of the day. You already know what that is, how we do. And then you know I got the bangers. I got uncut hip-hop bangers, man. Bangers. We're going to go to Atlanta. We're going to go to NYC. We might take a trip to Jersey. We might go to Cali. You never know where E gonna take this show today, man. So all y'all gotta do is sit back, relax, buckle up, because we gonna go hard in the paint. Real talk. Y'all hear me talking over this classic main sauce joint live at the barbecue. Y'all already know, man. This is one joint that used to just get me really, really in the mood. Just to have fun. Nothing else. I don't want y'all to be like, see, he ready to... Nah. I'm not talking about causing any problems. I'm just talking about, enjoying good music. That's it. No problems, none of that. I know y'all like, he ready to tear it down. Nah. I'm just talking about good music. That's all. I want to make sure I keep it official. Shout out to my man, Large Professor, the legendary Large Professor. This joint was crazy. The introduction to Nas. Man, listen. I first heard this joint, man. This sent tremors up my spine. I was like, this right here is crazy. Crazy. And I feel like even going to Brooklyn real quick, I might hit up my mans in them, because this was another joint that wow, even the video, I just was amped up. This other joint I'm about to throw on. I know everybody in the tunnel remember this joint. They already like, yeah. A lot of cats got tore up when this joint came on. But I'm gonna let y'all know what that is when it come on, for real talk. But it's your man E.Jones, man. I'm in full effect, man. If you missed the show, you can always catch it on TuneIn, or you can catch it on iHeart, our iHeart channel. Also, if you on Roku, you can watch the show on Roku. If you got Comcast cable, channel 190 in the Wilkes-Barre area, Scranton, Poconos. We covering about 40-something towns, so y'all could definitely pick it up right there. So we here, man. I'm looking at the Rewind website. Big shout out to my man Phil. Big shout out to my sister Leah. Crazy. We're not playing with y'all, man. We gonna talk about Rewind when we come back, man. I want to get back to some more of this music, man. It's your man E, man. Y'all hear the horn, man. That means I'm blowing it down. Let's go. E.Jones.
The E.Jones Show. The E.Jones Show.
Yo,
Yeah, what's going on? Big Gipp in the building.
what's good with you, King? What's going on?
We was waiting for you, fam.
I'm here, man. I just got, just pulled up on this tour bus out here in Boston, man. So, I had to get set. Well, I'm on the ground now. We ready.
No doubt. So we're going to start from the beginning, Playboy, because we want people to know who you are and how it all started. So let's start from the beginning. How did Big Gipp get into this rap game?
Big Gipp got into this rap game around years ago, like 88, 89. Ray Murray from Organized Noise moved in my neighborhood. And Ray was one of the original Five Kings from the West End. He was one of the original Atlanta graffiti crews.
Mm-hmm.
So when Ray moved to East Point, Ray started educating me on hip hop. He started showing me what the Jungle Brothers were, all the classics, and he was the first person to show me a drum machine.
Mm.
From then, man, I started, he started writing my first rhymes, and it just caught on after that, after 87, 88. And then another reason why I'm in the music business is because a lady named Jean Carn from Atlanta, she's one of the biggest 70s singers. She went to Washington High School. She stayed in my neighborhood. And during the 80s, she had a song called Closer Than Close. It was a real big record in the South. And, from her, over her house, that's where I met New Edition. That's where I met Stevie Wonder, Peabo Bryson, like a lot of the people that was famous at the time. And I remember her taking me to Atlanta Fulton County Stadium for her daughter's birthday, and her daughter had her birthday party with the Jackson 5.
Got
so
you.
For me, I've been around music and the music business for so long, but I didn't start really getting into hip-hop as far as trying to be an artist until like 88, 89.
Okay, so I want you to now walk us through the Goody Mob movement. Like, how did all this come into place? Y'all went to school together. Like, I know a lot of people's like, well, how did it come together?
Okay, Goody Mob, I mean, we all went to school together at different phases. Like, CeeLo's younger than us. He's the same age as Outkast.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, CeeLo, Dre, and Big, they all went to school since kids. You know what I mean? He been knowing Dre since, him and Dre been knowing each other since elementary school.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So, us personally, we all been together and all ran in the same circles growing up as kids. Goody Mob, it started forming really on the Outkast record, because if you listen to the first Outkast record when Dre said Big Gipp, Goody Mob, I wasn't even in Goody Mob. It was just Goody Mob was just really comprised of Cujo and T-Mo. That was the Goody Mob. That was the Lumberjacks. And once we did Call It.
Did we lose him?
And that's when Reek was like, I think all y'all should be in the same group. And that's when Goody Mob was formed.
Okay, got you. So with Goody Mob now, y'all came out, and I'm on the East Coast side of things. Up on the New York end, PA end, y'all came out, man. Like, I was like, yo, wow, this is tight. Like, soulful. Like, what was your mind frame when y'all wrote that?
Our mind frame was to get respect from New York, King.
Okay.
That was our mind frame, because what people don't understand is that we were with Outkast that night at the Source Awards when they booed Outkast for winning Album of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it made us come back to Atlanta and have a real chip on our shoulder, man, because we really was feeling like, hip-hop, the essence of hip-hop is supposed to have substance, new music, the beat, you know what I mean, and taking the listeners on a journey, and then I just feel like it made us want to come back and make sure that our rhymes are right, that we can rap these raps in New York, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That was the whole shit then, was about getting acceptance from New York, and I feel like we did that. Like, I mean, Cell Therapy, I think, was the first time New York could look in and say, damn, like, it's some Southern cats on some knowledge. Because our heroes was Chuck D, man, Public Enemy. Chuck D stayed in Southwest Atlanta. You know what I mean? He always been in Atlanta. People don't even know Chuck D been staying in Atlanta since the 80s, since the 90s. You know what I mean? So when I would go and get my license at Stonewall Tail over there on Southside, I would run into Chuck D at the license plate. You know what I mean? So them being a very big influence, Ice-T being a very big influence, man. Like, I'm going to tell you about Gipp. Gipp, I'm not into the drug dealer rap. You know what I mean? I ain't never really been into the cat that sold drugs and all that. Man, niggas been saying the same shit for 20 years and people still eat that shit up, man. You know what I mean? Niggas ain't been in the hood since when? At the early 90s. You know what I mean? So, that's my thing. It's just knowledge has always been my thing, man. If it ain't about knowledge, I ain't really too much interested. You know what I mean?
No, I got you clearly, and I want you to know this from my mouth to your ears, bruh. I definitely was feeling you guys when y'all came out. Still feeling you guys now. Definitely enjoyed what y'all brought to the table because y'all brought a different element to the table, which the game needed that. Like you said, rap is supposed to be diversity. Like, if your bars is tight, your bars is tight. And I got to give you credit, bruh. Every time I hear you on a song, you stood out for me. I'm like, yo, this dude right here, he got something cooking.
And what's so funny about that, man, is just to never be acknowledged for it. You know what I mean? Like man, like golly, goddamn, like. But at the same time, it's made me stronger, man. Like I just feel like at the end of the day, that where we are right now in hip hop, it's like the ones that's been doing what they got to do and been doing what they doing. It's time to grow up. You got to have a new message, and it's just like, you know, people like, yo. It's amazing, like, when they getting to hear this new Goody Mob song, they like, damn, man, y'all just click back in and right back into the same subject matter, but with it being artsy, with it being up-tempo, with it being, you know, life. It's just, that's what we do, King. Like, that's what we do. Like, and I'm going to tell y'all, man, the industry been fighting us since we've been in this game. That's what people don't understand. Like, the biggest misconception of us was, where did y'all get that knowledge from? You know what I mean? Like, it was like at that time, it was almost like being inside. I could tell you being inside of the face at the time. It was like people were more fans of DMX and Jay-Z and all that was going on in New York than they was of Outkast and Goody Mob. We was on the same, and they worked for our label. You know what I mean? So for us, we always had that chip on our shoulder. Like, man, like you say, you got to be the best at this. Bro, nobody has beat us at numbers. Bro, whoever you say is the best can't fuck with 3,000.
Ooh, what? We don't get no FCC fines.
Oh, I'm sorry. But I'm just saying with my crew, it's like no other crew got a CeeLo. No other crew got a 3,000. No other crew got me. No other crew got a big boy. You know what I mean? So it's like when I look at how they have been biased at the way they talk about us and the way that they still hold other people higher than us that never sold as many records or couldn't beat us on the stage. We've been whooping people on the stage since the Roots and the Fugees, man. We was 5 years the number one live act in hip-hop. 5 years straight. Never won a Grammy. Never won a Source Award. Never have a Source Awards cover. Nothing. It's always been against them guys because they sound smarter and we expect less. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's why I'm still hungry, right? Even today, I'll prove you wrong. Half the people y'all say the best and all had ghostwriters.
Wow.
We've never had ghostwriters. Everybody that they say in the top 5, from the Kanye, the Drake, the Jay-Z, all of them had ghostwriters, man. So, hey, man, maybe I'm not tripping on nobody or nothing like that. I'm just saying, man, the template of what they say you're supposed to be judged on hip-hop has been so distorted, man, so distorted that's what makes artists like 3,000 be like, yo, man, I don't even want to be in this fake game no more. Y'all ain't gonna never be truthful about what's going on. It's like, you know, but at the same time, it's giving us strength, man. It's giving us patience. It's giving us, you know, it's matured us. Whereas, you know, when people hear me talk, they might feel like, you bitter? No, I'm not bitter. Why am I bitter, man? I have more platinum and gold records than a lot of people. And I'm still on the road at, 40-some years old, and I'm still selling shows out. Like, them people I don't see a lot of the people they say was the best. Where they at?
Home.
You know what I mean? Where they at, man? If you said they were the best, where they at now? Where they at? And see, that's why I just, right now, like when we had that show at the Fox last week, man, in Atlanta, come out and see us live and could say, hey, man, these boys is undefeated since the 90s. Never gave a whack show. Hey, man, that lets you know that we don't do it for the money, man. We do it for the love. We do it for the real essence of why you supposed to be doing hip hop. That's why we can still do it today without nobody help.
Got you.
Cause you know what I mean? We really went to the school of hip hop. Like if I was a kid in New York, man, like, and I'm gonna tell you this too, like LL Cool J, man, Run DMC, man, Public Enemy, man, look how they did Public Enemy, man. Just look at anybody that comes to this game and gives knowledge. What happens as soon as you start talking like you got some sense? They ban you from the radio.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They try to destroy your group.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But then you turn around and be like, wow, like, they've made the drug dealers and all that the pinnacle of our game. But we the only ones that make drug dealers and all that the worst of us, the best of us.
Mm. You speaking facts. I mean? You speaking facts, bro, because...
That's all I'm saying, kid. You know what I mean? Like, that 360 deal, that shit was created for them to put hip-hop artists back into the sharecropper, back into chains that you can't see. So when I'm looking at all this stuff that's going on, I'm like, man, the whole game it went corporate. The whole game. When you got, you know what I mean, and especially when you got so many inflated egos, man, that you can see out here, man. Like people out here doing the most crazy, wearing purple hair,
dresses,
just everything, just anything to get attention, but the music ain't no good.
And I'm glad you brought that up, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm glad that you brought that up because I'm in my 40s, and I'm looking at the game now, and I'm going to be honest with you. It's a game to me because that's the way it looks now. I remember, you know, the work. Like, I had an argument with my son one day. He's like, oh, LL, I heard that he called himself the greatest of all time. I said, why can't he? Why can't that man call him the greatest of all time?
He is. Like, he is. If you think about it, man, it would be no Def Jam if it wasn't no LL Cool J.
Thank you.
It would be no Def Jam, man. And for when you look at stuff and you be like, wow, look how they did LL. Like, look, man. Look how they did him. You know what I mean? Wait a minute, I moved to the West Coast and be a movie star, man. Y'all don't love me, man.
Yeah, I'm gone.
I'm gone, man. Y'all don't love me, man. Y'all want something else to be the champ. You know what I mean? When that man had put in all the work, man, I just remember as a kid, man, just catching that I'm Bad video, man, just coming home from high school just like, yeah, he's so cold.
Yeah.
And I don't know if kids even look at it the way how we looked at it then, man. Like, you know what I mean? I was just, as a child, to watch Rakim on stage and doing Paid in Full and Eric B up there with them chains on, man. You got to look. I'm a kid from the South. We couldn't even get them chains. We couldn't even get some of them Kangos. Like, it was just everything to look at that stuff and want to be like. And one of those guys, you know, respect. You know what I mean? Like, and I just don't even think the younger generation, what they don't understand is sometimes what comes off is we happy that y'all successful. Know that it was us that built them highways that y'all making that money on right now. But and y'all getting a lot of more money that we never saw as y'all age. You know what I mean? We never saw millions of dollars off streams. Like, we never saw that. So right now I'm just like, wow, but does that guarantee them a career, or does that guarantee them failure? Because it's like so much at the beginning, when you know that we don't know what's going on, you don't really know what's going on this to the third, fourth album. You know what I mean? There's so much going on. You know what I mean? So, but at the same time, when I'm looking at it, I'm like, yo, I've never seen a generation that don't have the Public Enemies, don't have the knowledge. I mean, the only person it's only two people right now that you can even mention that's on our path. That's J. Cole and Kendrick.
Yep, I was just about to say that. Yep.
To me, Kendrick is Outkast. J. Cole is Goody Mob. Period. So when I look at that, I say, dang, man, it's only two people representing. But I look at them and I say, they are the best of hip-hop, man. They are the best. But look, you know about all the other rappers more than you know about them two. It always goes back to they don't like us to be smart. They want us to be They want us to be
Cartoon
crazy.
characters.
That's what I mean, cartoon characters. And you know, it's a few cartoon characters in the game, and you see, no matter if they ain't sold 15, 20 million records right now, in this time of day, you are a cartoon character, and don't nobody care about your catalog. You just had a few hits for the time.
That's
My
right.
music was never that. I never did music to go into the clubs. I never did that. My heroes were Bob Marley. My heroes were Curtis Mayfield. We did our first album in Curtis Mayfield house on Campbellton Road.
Mm.
I was able to see the real, actual 2 inches and 3 inches that he used to put Superfly, the soundtrack, together that he wrote in Southwest Atlanta. People don't even know.
Wow.
You know what I mean? His house is still over there where we recorded our first album. On the album of Soul Food, the jogging suit I got on, Curtis Mayfield gave me that jogging suit out of his closet
Mm.
and told me, he said, Gipp, y'all don't never do a publishing deal until you ready to lead the game. And guess what? We ain't never had a publishing deal.
Wow.
I know why all these guys got all these diamonds on and all that. They went and sold they sold early. That's cool. You just didn't know your value. That's all right. You know what I mean? But when you look at it and you hear lyrics like, hey, man, I'm just going to marry me a white girl. You see people do stuff like that, you be like, wow.
Yep. The start of the ending.
Hey, man, that's y'all hero. Okay, cool, man. Hey, man, cool with me, man. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't grow up like that. When I grew up, like, I seen proud, prominent, business, black people. That's one thing they can't take from Atlanta. See, Atlanta, well, people don't understand. I don't care where you come from, home. The United States wouldn't be what it is if it wasn't for no Dr. King, home.
Mm.
That's what they don't understand. And what they don't understand is Atlanta, the reason why it's been so many prominent black people and always will be is because a black man built that Hartsfield Airport, Maynard Jackson, which cut all the black families into that airport for life, which also stabilizes our community. That's why it's more black millionaires in Atlanta, and it's more black ownership in Atlanta than any other city in America. And I've been to all of them. You know what I mean? So when you look at the real facts, you be like, okay, now they trying to say Atlanta gay, now they trying to say Atlanta weird. It's like, no, do you all understand that every time that black people stand up and doing the right thing, that's when they start throwing the bull junk on it and the names and all that, trying to tear us down. But you're never going to be able to tear Atlanta down. You know why? Because most of us grew up together. We're not like the other parts of the industry. We're not like New York. We're not like L.A. We're not like Miami. Most of the people that do music in Atlanta, we all grew up together since middle school, elementary, high school. You'll never be able to break our bond.
Mm.
The industry will never be able to break our bond. We always stand together against the industry because we all was treated the same. From TLC to Tony Braxton to Usher, everybody that was with LaFace, we was treated as outcasts back then because LaFace was the only label that was the R&B label, but they had two of the biggest rap acts on it, and that was Outkast and Goody Mob. So I look at it like this, like, I understand, you know, what people look at, but when I say it's no other crew that's like us, it's like, man, we do rap, we do pop, we do alternative, gospel, we've done rock and roll, we've done everything, man. We're probably the only rap group that's been on tour with Fishbone and De La Soul.
Mm.
Like, it's like I don't know another rap group that has that kind of depth, that kind of the songs. Like, they don't have the songs for the crowd. And see, what I'm learning is, hey man, it's cool if a person that learned how to tell the same dope story 20 years and y'all believe it. But it's like for a person like me, my mind works. Once I figure something out, I'm done with it. You know what I mean? So most of the heroes and most of the people that people say heroes, I'd be like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? Okay, cool, because right now in this generation, it's all about who got the most money and this, that, and the other, and who girl this, and it's just a whole bunch of marketing, bro.
And how much syrup they sipping on, and lean, and all this other nonsense.
All that. I mean, like people don't even understand, man. Future come from Dungeon family. Understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Future come from Dungeon family. But one thing that you can't do is say the Future ain't did what he was supposed to do. Now the subject matter, yeah, but it's the same thing. But see, that's the same way they try and put that shit off on Future. That's the same way I look at Jay-Z career. He ain't did nothing but sell your drugs too. Now he just got older, had a kid, got a girl, and now he not doing that. But for 20 years, he sold you drugs. So let's not get that misconstrued, everybody. How you trying to jump on Future when the guy that you say is the best did the same thing?
Mm-hmm.
That be my problem with hip hop. Because it be like the same people that do it, and then if you ain't from where they from, then yours is looked at as ain't the same or it ain't pure. Man, come on, man. Talking about drugs, whether you're selling them or doing them. Don't matter.
It's still a drug.
It's still a drug, my dude.
So
all
what?
I've been hearing, all I've been hearing in hip hop for the last 3-4 years is drug use from everybody, and I'm just like, look, but how, can you blame the kids, or do you turn around and look at these execs, these labels putting on? Come on, man. Back in the day, you couldn't get in the door if it wasn't at a 10.
Mm.
You couldn't get in there. Most of these folks walking in here, they are 1.5, can't even rap. They got a hit record, and they just come on stage and just stand there. They don't even rap the song.
Yo, Gipp, I'm gonna make you laugh because I know you. What I'm about to say, you gonna be like this. Wow, E. I'm gonna make you laugh. You know who the mumble rappers owe money to? Mushmouth from Fat Albert.
Come on, man.
He's the original mumble mouth rapper. They owe him a check. Cut that man a check.
Come on, man. but check this out though. How they say the kids mumble rap. That's how we used to look at Bone Thugs and Harmony. We couldn't understand nothing they were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But as time went on, you could understand it. You know what I mean? Because you had to listen to it more and more.
Yep.
But with the mumble rap, I think a lot of that had to do with, I think, the choices of drugs, and then being from Atlanta and already having a lazy tongue, it just made it even more. I just say that. But then again, like my daughter, which is 21, grew up in this era. She like, Daddy, we understand it. So that's the whole disconnect between us who came up in the clarity of hip hop and the essence of hip hop. Like the kids just be like, oh, well, Pop, the reason why we like it because it's different than y'all's. What y'all was doing is hip hop. So we can really say that this is our hip hop, the mumble rap. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, okay, cool. I guess that's the same way my parents looked at when I played,
Sugar Hill Gang and all that. Yep.
Yeah, because I used to be in the car going to school, and I put on, Cocaine Runs America, BDP.
Mm-hmm.
I had to be like, yo, what is that? Then I put on some NWA. He like, what is that? You know what I mean? So when you look at it, it's just the time, it's the days, and I think the mumble rap was a way for this generation was to separate themselves from the old, by just having this, like, it's almost like they took what Biggie and what Jay really, really mastered, and Wayne, like just going off the top of the head. But, those three guys, I can say, are very, very dope lyricists and very dope writers.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think kids they said, yo, because I went in the studio with them, and they'd be like, they'll turn the music on, they'll do 3 or 4 words, and then they cut the music off. And I'll be like, what you doing? And like, I'm thinking about what I'm going to say for the next stuff. So when I'm like, hey, bro, like, y'all don't even put the whole thought together. Y'all kind of like, as y'all go. I don't even know how to come at music like that. You know what I mean?
It ain't even a legitimate 16 bars. It's like, to me, it's 5 or 6, and then the rest is repetitive.
And then I'm like, okay, but don't nothing you say match. Like, where we going? Where's the story? What's the plot? You know what I mean? So, not upset with them at all, because I feel like when I look at Young Thug, I love Young Thug. I just know that he's like me. You know what I mean? He like Dre was. He's, everybody, his fashion. I know people just think he wild. You know what I mean? But like, from the young thugs, from the futures, from the gunners. It's like, man, one thing that we cannot discredit is their popularity, is that the kids love them, and they represent their generation. You know what I mean? And hey, man, like, we respect it because at the end of the day, the difference between, I think, us and a lot of the other older from my generation rappers is that Outkast and Goody Mob, see, we never hated on our young. It was like, because that was our seed. We started the Dungeon family on. Every time we drop an album, we're going to pull another one of us. Every time we drop an album, we're going to pull another. We started that trend in Atlanta. So look, with us setting that seed, it has created a city and a mindset that we not doing what nobody else doing. We're going to do it our way. And since Outkast and Goody Mob didn't follow no rules, we ain't got to follow no rules.
Gotcha.
That's the mentality of a young kid in Atlanta. That's why they can go and be so wild in fashion, because they ain't seen 3,000 do everything from wigs to this, that, and the other. They ain't seen CeeLo do from the Star Wars outfits with Danger Mouse and Gnarls Barkley. No other people can do what we do and still get the credit, because every time we do something off the side, people still know it's that raw. People still know it's that pure. I can put CeeLo up against as many people you want to name, and he gonna kill him when it comes to that raw shit. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
But you know what I mean? That's what I mean. You know what I mean? Like, you can't play with us even right now. You put the Dungeon family against any crew you want to house. Any crew. We're going to smoke them on stage, huh? We're going to smoke them. We're going to smoke them. You can't go from the musical diagram we can come from. We'll hit you with some Gnarls Barkley, come back with Hey Y'all, come back with Dope Boys, come back with Cool Breeze, come back with You can't do it, bruh. You can't do it. We'll smoke anybody when it comes to getting on that stage.
Well, I need that new music, though. I need you to give me that new music, though, because I ain't got it yet.
You ain't got the new song.
Nah.
You ain't got the new Goody Mob?
Nah, I got to talk to Classic about that. I need that.
Okay, when we hang up, you send me an email, and I'm gonna send you the new Goody Mob, the new Gipp, the new. I got all kind. I'm out here with everybody. I'm gonna load you up. I'm gonna go over here and ask Organized Noise. Wish Doctor got a dope new record, man.
Okay. I need that.
So, yeah, just send me a email, and we good, man. I'm gonna load you up today.
And I want to say thank you for the drop that I got, from you guys. I appreciate that so much.
Yes, sir. Anything you need, we'll be back in 2 days. We're gonna knock out Boston tonight. We're gonna hit North Carolina, then we back in Atlanta, man. And I'm gonna tell you, man, I just want to say this, man. I thank New York so much, man, for what they gave the world, man. They gave the world hip hop, man. And if it weren't for New York, man, where would a lot of us be, man?
And I thank you. I think Atlanta, the South, and I also think New York, because, like I said, at the end of the day, I'm a fan, not just a radio host. I'm a fan of hip hop, good hip hop, and I like the fact that I was exposed to all levels of hip hop. The Dungeon family did their thing. Continue to do y'all thing. In my mind, y'all are legends to me, and it's a blessing. And I want you to understand this. It was a blessing that you granted me this interview and came on my show. That's another thing I can write off my bucket list now. I had Gipp from Goody Mob on the show, so I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. Hey, and I come see you live. I'll be home, and I just want everybody that's listening, man, like, Gipp ain't got no problems with nobody. I love everybody, man. I'm just a very truthful person. I don't like to sugarcoat nothing. And maybe my mouth is what kept me from being a lot of places. But, I was raised by a mother and a father, man. I was raised by a real strong one, man. So, I'm like this with it. God gave me a talent. He ain't never let me. I ain't been hungry since I've been in this game. You know what I mean? And I appreciate everything that the game gave to me. And New York, man, if it wasn't for New York, man, I don't know if we would have been this good, man, I don't know. Because, having Goody Mobb's first shows in New York with Biggie and Craig Mack and at the Harlem Fest, man, like that taught us, man. It really taught us, man. I used to walk around New York all day, man, over there on 8th Ave, Serafina's, man, like, man, I used to walk across Central Park with DJ Muggs, like, I just remember the old New York before the towers fell, man. It was just the energy there was just so different. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to let everybody know, man, that you cannot be a great unless you always tip your hat to the ones that you learn the game from. Getting money and disrespecting those that came before you, it's disrespectful and it's unwarranted. A lot of people had to go through a lot of things for these kids nowadays to be making the money they're making, getting the promotion dollars spent on them, and this whole new corporate world that is making them millionaires very, very fast. But I want y'all to know that this game also can destroy you if you don't pay attention to the things around you and the people around you. And I ain't been in this game for 20-some years, and can't tell you that you're gonna have ups and downs, man. It's just like the streets, man.
Yep.
Ain't no manual to this. Ain't no manual to this. And I say that because that's just like for you, the radio hosts, for the PDs, for the rappers, for the writers. This a crap game, man. It's a crap game, and you got to stay on top of your game or you will lose your footing, man. So thank you so much for having me. That in that same studio you sitting was the first time that the Roots and the Goody Mob had an actual battle on that radio station that you on right now. So I always remember that place where you sit right now. It's a part of my hip hop because after that battle with the Roots, it made us say, "Hey man, we got to get that pen out one more time." Hey man, that Black Thought wasn't playing back then. Man.
Yeah, he's tight.
You know what I mean? That he took off and he was rapping with the whole Goody there by himself, and I was like, "Hey man, this boy he's special, man."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm just letting y'all know that, man. I had to get it out the mud from the sidewalk, man. And I love that y'all got the internet, man. And, y'all can become overnight stars in 24 hours just by doing something and they're going viral. But, back in our day, man, we didn't have that. We had to get in a 12-passenger van and go from small town to big city, man. And even now, I'm still doing it. And George Clinton, he gave me this word. He said, Gipp, he said, I'm not going to stop singing and ain't going to stop putting the funk out there until God bring me home. He said, I never care about one record because I'm always working on the next one.
Amen.
He said, that's the way an artist stays sane. That's the way an artist or an artsy person always stays sane in this world, because never get caught up on what you're doing. Just start working on something else, and it'll free your heart.
No doubt. Yo, Gipp, it was a pleasure and an honor having you call into the show, man. I'm going to definitely stay in touch with you, and I'm going to make sure I get you that email so I can get that new music.
Yes, and I'll send it to you today.
All right.
Thank you so much. Respect. If you need me, just call me.
Say no more, family. Peace.
Respect.
All right. One. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Big Gipp from Goody Mob. I know we got DJ Mark's Lunchtime Mix running a little late. Soul Man about to put that up into the pocket. You can put it in the pocket, Soul Man. Put Mark's joint right up in the pocket. Just move it up a little bit right there. And after I finish with this. But I just want to say we had Big Gipp, legendary Big Gipp from the Goody Mob, the legendary group Goody Mob. Just bless us. Great conversation with him. If you missed the interview, you can get it on iHeart. It'll be up soon. It's your man E.Jones, me and my man Soul Man. We'll catch y'all on the flip side. I'm out of here. Peace. E.Jones.
The E.Jones Show. E.Jones Show. E.Jones Show.